this continuous humming becoming back and forth. You reduce the volume also. And we'll make an effort so that our presence is not felt. Each one of us makes an effort so that my presence is not felt. Nobody should know that I'm here. I'm the only one who's the exception. And even for me, you don't have to look at me or concentrate on me. This is different from what we did earlier. Here, each of us, our attention should be only on ourselves. Attention only on ourselves, not on others. And because in meditation we go inwards. So listen to my voice and relax. In the middle of the session, if there is any kind of disturbance, like people are moving or there's some sound or something, they can be. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't let disturbances disturb you. It's all Brahman, right? It's a wave in the ocean of Brahman. It cannot disturb you. Alright, so we have done Shravana, Manana, and now this is the time for Nididhyasana. Let me start the session with a chant. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Can you hear me at the back? Yes. Just now we were singing Jyotira Jyoti Ujjala Ridikandara. Thou art the light of lights. What is that light? It's not the tube light or the little lights shining here, not the material lights. It's the light of consciousness. So you're singing in a very religious setting to God. But what are you singing? You're singing, Thou art the light of lights. And where is this light of lights? Ujjala Ridikandara, shining in our own hearts. Now that does not mean the medical heart. Shining at the very core of our being. We are there in our very minds, in our intellects, in our minds. The light of awareness. The light of awareness which is shining. That's what we are singing. Jyotira Jyoti. So that is God. The God of religion is the light of consciousness within us. Now, hopefully we have gathered something from today's talk, the inner light, this afternoon. And 2 days ago we talked about in the cave of our hearts. What is in the cave of the heart? It's that same inner light. What we have heard and what we have thought about, let us now try to feel it a little bit. Even feel is not the right word because it's not an object to be felt, but language has its limitations. Alright. Now, this is Vedantic meditation. It's quite different from Yogic meditation. In Yogic meditation, we try to concentrate. Krishna, I'm meditating on Krishna. So I imagine Krishna in my heart and the image of Krishna in my heart, and I concentrate there. Any other thought that comes, I remove that thought, I keep bringing it back there. It's focusing the mind. That's one kind of meditation. You focus the mind on Om. I think only of Om and nothing else. Other thoughts come, I dismiss them, bring it back to Om. That's yogic meditation. In bhakti, in devotion also we do that kind of meditation. We meditate on the chosen deity. There's another variety of meditation, Buddhist, mindfulness, awareness, where you are aware of the flow of the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Just be aware, like a witness, be aware of it. These are different kinds of meditation. They are all variations of yogic meditation. What we are going to do now is very different. One must grasp this, otherwise the tendency is to slip into some kind of practice. Yogic meditation is a practice. Mindfulness is a practice. Devotional exercises are a practice. This is not a practice. What I mean is, say, suppose I am Swami Sarvapriyananda. Now to dwell on that fact is not a practice. Am I practicing being Swami Sarvapriyananda? That's silly. I am Swami Sarvapriyananda. So when I just dwell in the fact that I am Swami, if I think of that, I'm not practicing anything. I'm just recognizing a fact. In that way, that's what we will do. Now, Vedantic meditation is of different types, but all of them have one purpose in mind. All of them have one purpose in mind. And that is there a problem?
This will be less disturb.
You remember this thing?
Yes.
So all of them, all of the techniques of Vedantic meditation have one purpose in mind. I am Brahman. How do I recognize that? And how do I dwell on that? How do I dwell on that fact? Now, for the purposes of today's session, I have selected Vedantic meditation from this book. This is called Aparokshanubhuti. Some of you who are following the classes on Aparokshanubhuti on YouTube, you might be familiar with it. I have started. But the ones I'm going to do are much later. It's from verses 101. I've not yet covered them on the YouTube lectures. So at the end of this book, Adi Shankaracharya, he gives Vedantic meditation, non-dual meditation. Whatever we have learnt in this book is exactly what we learnt in today's The Inner Light, or we learnt in the secret of the cave, in the cave of the heart. So, how do I make it a reality in my life? How do I make it real? How do I dwell on that reality? For that, Shankaracharya has given Vedantic meditation. Now he has done something interesting. We know about yogic meditation. Those who know about Patanjali meditation, you know about Ashtanga yoga? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. 8 limbs of yoga. The 8 limbs of yoga. Where Yama is moral restraint, what you should not do. Niyama is what one should do, the disciplines of spiritual life. Asana is how to sit. Some of you are sitting here in asana. That's part of yogic meditation, sitting in an asana. Pranayama is breath, control of the breath. Why do you control the breath? To calm the mind. Pratyahara is withdrawing the mind from the world inwards. Dharana is holding on to the object of focus inside. Dhyana is continuing that focus. And that dhyana becomes absorbed into samadhi. So, 8 limbs, they call it Ashtanga yoga. Yogis practice this. Now what Shankaracharya has done is very interesting. He has taken the same names. He has taken the same yogic names, Yama, Niyama, Asana, but he has completely changed the meaning. So by this method, what happens is, if you study this, you will understand what is yogic meditation and what is Vedantic meditation at the same time. I am not going to do all those techniques. Each of those techniques has only one purpose. In yogic meditation, you need to practice all 8 of them. You start with Yama and go up to Samadhi. That's the purpose. You have to practice all of them, 8 of them. But in Vedantic meditation, any one of these will lead you to Brahman. The way Shankaracharya started this, any one of them will lead you to Brahman. So, what we will do today is, I have selected 3. I am going to lead you through 3 of them. You actually don't need anybody to lead you to. You need it just once to hear it, and then you can practice it yourself also. So I will lead you through 3 of them. We will do 1. I will chant the verse, explain the meaning, the yogic meaning and the Advaitic meaning. Then I will practice. We will practice together. Then I will ask you if you have any comments, questions. You can say something. Then we will go to the second method. Then practice that. Again I will ask for some comments if you want to say anything. Then we will go for the third method. And again end with some general comments, discussion, what you felt, what you think. 3 methods today. Let us see what happens. Alright. Now, those who are interested, those who have already got the book at home, you can refer back. These methods all start from verse number 101, 102. Shankaracharya actually gives 15 methods. 15. Any one of them is enough to establish you in Brahman. Any one. So I am going to do 3. Remember, these names are yogic names, but the meaning is completely different. It's an Advaitic meaning. So the first step of yogic meditation is yama. Yama means moral restraint. Basically the don'ts, what one should not do in life, in spiritual life. So the 5 yamas in Patanjali Yoga are ahimsa, non-violence, in thought, word and deed. One should not have any violence in action, in words and in thoughts. Not Advaita, we are not talking about Advaita, we are talking about the original idea of yama, yogic yama. Ahimsa. Second, satya. It means the truth. But what it means actually, the practice is not to tell untruths. You are not supposed to go around telling all sorts of truths to everybody. That's not a practice. The practice is not to tell an untruth. So again it's negative. Don't tell untruths. Satya. Then brahmacharya. Don't indulge in illegitimate sense pleasures. What you know to be immoral and indecent, don't indulge in that. Brahmacharya. Then asteya. Not claiming what one is not due to. I mean, what is not due to one. What is not mine, I should not steal it. Basically not stealing something. It can be of very subtle levels also. We must be careful not to take anything that is not due to us. Asteya. And the last one is aparigraha. Not, even when something is given to us, not accepting gifts which we don't need. More you accept, the more obligated you become. And when you try to meditate, you will find your mind has been scattered. In fact, the more stuff you have in your room, you may not think it. When you sit down and meditate, you will find a part of your mind has gone to your stuff. My stuff. So, minimize possessions. These are the practices of yogic yama. But what does Shankaracharya say? Sarvam brahmeti vijnanat indriya grama sanyamaha yamo yamiti samprokto abhyasaniyo muhurmuhu. What does it mean? It says, based on the knowledge that everything is Brahman, all the sense organs and mind become immediately controlled. Everything is Brahman. This is yama. Establish yourself in the truth that everything is Brahman, and you will automatically find all the things which our yogis are trying to control, automatically controlled. You won't have to make any effort at all. Alright. Now, let's try. Sit straight, more or less, in a relaxed way. You can close your eyes if you like. You can keep your eyes open if you like. In between, you may open your eyes, you may close your eyes. If you like to stretch during the practice, you can do that. No tension anywhere. Don't be rigid. We are not hatha yogis, relax, normal. Breathing normally, breathing in and breathing out normally. You're listening to my voice. Now listen. You can hear my voice. Listen to the sounds in this room. The sounds outside this room. Sounds of the city. Breathing in and breathing out normally. Relaxed. Whole body relaxed. Withdraw your attention inwards into yourself. Breathing normally. All that we are aware of is in the light that we are. In the light of my own consciousness, the world appears, my body appears, my breathing appears, thought appears. This vast awareness, it is all that I am. Always there has been this awareness. It is there now, it will always be. Entire universe is experienced in that awareness. Be that light. Note that you are that light, that presence. All that you are aware of right now, your sense of the body, sounds from outside, thoughts in the mind, feelings, all are shining in the awareness which you are. This awareness has no story. When was it born? The body was born. You, the awareness, were never born. The life story belongs to the body, to the person, not to the immortal awareness which I am. All sounds, all feelings, whether pleasant or unpleasant, they are all shining in that awareness, that light which you are. What desire does that awareness have? All desires, they shine in that awareness, they are in the mind. The mind also shines in that awareness. I am the awareness, I am the light, I am not the mind. In this awareness, there is no before or after. That light deep within me, what is it waiting for? Nothing. Is there anything to happen afterwards? It does not expect anything, nor is it waiting for anything. It is perfect as it is. See all thoughts of comfort, discomfort, all of them, you are aware of them. How are you aware of them? Because they shine in that light which you are. They come and go. You are that vast sky in which clouds come and go. Thoughts. They were not there earlier and they will not be there after a few seconds. Breathing, body, sounds. These are all like clouds in the vast blue sky which I am. They come and go. I remain. I am that vast blue sky. I am that pure consciousness, that awareness. I was, I am, I will be. That light, that vast blue sky, does it want anything or does it need anything? No. Does it have any problems? All problems are of the person. All problems are part of the story. But that presence, that vast sky, that infinite light of consciousness, that has no story, that has no problems. You're listening to my voice. Sounds in this room. Outside this room, far away. All of this we are aware in the light of consciousness. I am that light of consciousness. Why should I go out? That light of consciousness, what does it need anything from the world? Why should it go out into the world to beg for something? Pleasures, food and drink, comforts of life, good people and bad people, success and failure. That light, what does it have to do with any of this? All of them are like clouds passing through the sky. The entire life of the person and the light in which that life shines. I am the light in which the body was born, grew up, had many experiences, and will yet have more experiences. And then the body will disappear again in death. I am the untouched light. from the point of view of that light, just think, does that light have anything to do with violence? That light of pure consciousness. Does it need to practice ahimsa, non-violence? It's perfect non-violence. Does it have any fear or hatred that it will be violent to anybody? I, the light of pure consciousness, do I have any reason to tell an untruth? Why should I? For what? Desiring what or in fear of what will I tell an untruth? Enjoyments of the senses. What enjoyment does that light want? Every enjoyment, every suffering takes place in that light. The light is unconcerned. Possession. What will that light possess? There is no entity apart from that light. What will that light possess? There is nothing that the light, there is nothing for the light to possess, because everything is that light. Entire universe is like a movie show. It's like a dream in that light. You are that light. What will you desire? What position do you want there? Nothing. Can that light ever be greedy for anything? No question of that. What will it be greedy for? Both greed and self-control, both desire and lack of desire, both anger and peace, all of them shine in that same light. The light is unconcerned, untouched. That light is very simple. It's right here. It's what enables you to hear my voice. It is what is lighting up the thoughts and feelings in your mind. And you are that light. Being that light is effortless. It does not take any effort. It's always there. Just have to notice it. Being that light is the deepest rest that you can get. Because that is, you are actually in yourself then. Breathing in and breathing out normally, listening to my voice. If you've got your eyes closed, recall that you are sitting here in the Vedanta temple on that seat. Slowly open your eyes and look down at your lap. Don't look up immediately. Look down at your lap. Look down at your hands. Now you can look up slowly, if you like. Think about it. If we are able to notice that light, or even sort of think about that light, inner light, consciousness, awareness, which is there all the time, does that have any need of self-control? Nothing. It's a joke to talk about self-control at that level. I don't want to be ahimsa, non-violence. I must practice non-violence. The pure consciousness shining through body and mind, through the witness of the mind. There is no question of violence there. Satya, truth. Why should that pure consciousness tell an untruth? We tell untruths either out of temptation or out of fear. That pure consciousness, it's one everywhere. There is no second other than it. What will it be afraid of? As that pure consciousness, you cannot be afraid of anything. You are immortal. What will it be afraid of? Why will you tell an untruth? Brahmacharya, self-control. What pleasure does that pure consciousness seek? It is the source of all pleasure. Every pleasure depends upon that consciousness. Without that light, you cannot have any experience, let alone a pleasurable experience. Every pleasure comes from it. Is Ananda itself, bliss. Now, what Vedantic meditation does is, it asks you to recognize that this is within each of us. It is that. It is who we are. And then stand up for that truth. Live that truth in life. Actually live that truth in life. There's a beautiful saying which I like. There are many ways of falling down. There's only one way of standing up straight. Stand on this truth. It's not a belief, it's not a theory. If you feel that it's not very clear, it's a belief, it's a theory, it's a philosophy, then you need to go back to Shravana Manana. Hear that again, think about it again. Why do I think it's a theory? Why isn't it the reality? Not one reality, it's the reality. It's in fact the reality on which this reality which we experience, it floats like a shadow on that reality. Would you like to say anything before we go to the next exercise? What did you feel? Did anybody's mind wander? That's a common experience, yes. So many people, mind is wandering, other thoughts come. You see, what happens is, the first thing which I did, sitting quietly, alert, breathing in and out, closing the eyes if necessary, then listening. It calms the mind down. When the mind is calm, many things which are in the background of the mind, they start coming into the mind. When you relax, many thoughts which you were not aware of it, they are there in the mind. They start coming. It's a common experience in meditation, in yogic meditation. Does not matter. In yogic meditation it matters. Because in yogic meditation you are supposed to focus. So if the mind goes here and there, the devotees will complain, Swami, it's very difficult to concentrate the mind. Mind goes here and there. That's the problem of yogic meditation. But here, wherever the mind goes, whatever thought comes in the mind, it's another cloud in the blue sky. It's another thought shining in the light that you are. The very fact that you recognize your mind is wandering, in what light do you recognize the mind is wandering? That light you are. All the time. Even if the mind wanders, no problem at all. Let it wander. What does the vast blue sky care if the cloud goes this way or cloud goes that way? You are not here to control the mind. In Vedantic meditation, you are not here to control the mind. Awareness? Questions? Yes.
We need to shift the attention to the light.
To the light. It's like this. How you shift the attention to the light? I'll show you this. Right? Now, if I ask you, what are you seeing? What will you say? What will you say? A hand. Most people will say that's a hand. But you know actually what you are seeing? The light. It is the light reflected from the hand which is going into your eyes. The hand doesn't go into your eyes. Of course not. You'll go blind. In fact, all that we see is the light. All that we see is the light. Yes, here you can say you are seeing the hand for practical purposes, but really speaking, what you are seeing is the light reflected from the hands. Whatever object. Now when I show you the book, now tell me, what are you seeing? Light. Now when I show you this piece of cloth, what are you seeing? The light. Of course you recognize the hand, the book and the piece of cloth. But your attention, you note that it is the light reflected from these things that's coming into my eyes. In the same way, follow this carefully, in the same way, whatever thought comes, the moment you notice that my mind is wandering and thinking of this and that and mind wandering, how are you aware of it? That light. You as the pure consciousness. That's all you need. You don't need to control the mind and bring it back to something. No. Use any thought, any experience, just to reflexively become aware of the light. Today in the morning I said, whatever you see, you can become aware that it is your eyes which are seeing. You need not see a reflection of your eyes. Whatever you see, you become aware, I am seeing with my eyes. So what the object you see is not important. Yes, there is a question or comment.
So when I go back home, can I practice it like this way, like I'm everywhere, I'm everything. My consciousness is everywhere, my consciousness is everything. All my thoughts are, it's me, myself. Like, and I can try to fill myself through every entity, even through my enemies, through everywhere.
That's the beautiful meditation. That will be called an upasana. You see, if you do that, it's still not a Vedantic meditation. Why not? Because your mind, your intellect will tell you that you are not really everywhere. Right now, if I say, will you notice? Did you notice that I never said, imagine that you are everywhere? The fact is, your intellect will tell you, how can I be everywhere? I'm right here. I'll say, okay, the body is here. Even if you say consciousness is everywhere, do you really feel it? Consciousness is everywhere? No. Advaita Vedanta, the power of Advaita Vedanta comes from the fact that it never takes a step, an inch away from what we are experiencing right now. If you go into the realms of imagination, there may be very pleasant meditation practices. That will be a practice again. If I say, notice that you are everywhere, is it true? I say, no, Swami, I am in this room and this chair only. How can I be everywhere? But, when I say, every experience that happens in your consciousness.
Happens where?
In your consciousness, in your awareness. Think about it. Every experience that you have had in life from the beginning till today, right now also, it is happening in your consciousness. Where are you experiencing it? You say, no, Swami, here, this here. How are you experiencing here? With my eyes. How are you experiencing your eyes? With my mind. How are you experiencing your mind? Oh, in my awareness. Absolutely. Chaitanya, awareness. Other than that, you have not experienced anything else. One must grasp this. What is the technique being applied here? As I said in the afternoon, it's like a philosophical jujitsu. You are reversing it. Become aware of the fact that whatever experiences you have in life till today, and what you are having now and whatever you will have in future, they are all in your consciousness, in that light of your consciousness. Is this true or not? Do you understand this or not? Where else can you have an experience except in consciousness? Is this a puzzling statement or is it clear?
It is clear.
It is clear.
It's very difficult to imagine that everything is in that light because I don't know how this light is.
Yeah, what is the property, what is the nature, what is the, the physical property of this consciousness? Or is it even physical or not?
Let's repeat the question.
Okay, the question is to be repeated. Yes, but what is the nature? If you ask, what is the nature of this light? What are the properties of this consciousness? Is it physical or not? That was the question. Because people are watching, we have a virtual audience also in other parts of the country, so they are listening. One thing I'll tell you. You were not there for the inner light talk? No. In the cave of the heart, the first talk? What did I tell you? Shravan, Manan, Nidhyasan. Vedantic meditation is not, see this is interesting. This illustrates the difference between yogic meditation and Vedantic meditation. You don't need to attend a class on Patanjali yoga theory to practice Patanjali yoga meditation. You can just come, I will tell you how to sit, I'll tell you how to breathe, I'll tell you what to think, and then you practice. Ashtanga yoga. But Vedantic meditation cannot be done that way. It's like, what is the difference? It's like, I want to understand physics. So I go to the class and I learn, I read the book, attend the class, take notes, lectures, understand, question the teacher, make mistakes and get corrected by the teacher. Finally the teacher says, come tomorrow, we'll think more deeply about it. You come tomorrow, you go there tomorrow, and teacher said, just this one thing, E is equal to mc square. Now you have spent months and months understanding what is E, what is M, what is C, and how does the relationship, how is it derived mathematically, whole thing you know. Now the teacher says, just bear down on it, fiercely think about that, E is equal to mc square. You will get it. Now if I come only to that last class, right? I can think very fiercely, E is equal to mc square, E is equal to M. And I think after all that I will ask, but what is E? What is M? What is C? What do you mean E is equal to mc square? You have to know what it means to assimilate it, right? So Vedantic meditation is a meditation on what you have gathered in Shravana and Manana, in hearing and in thinking about it. If you don't do that, what it will seem like is somebody is asking you to imagine something. Of course, if you have been around Vedanta for a long time, right? So you don't have to attend a particular Shravana class. You might have heard it again and again and again. So you can come directly to a Vedantic meditation class and benefit from it. That's true. If you have heard many lectures in physics, you can come in the middle of a physics course. You can get it. Otherwise, what will happen is when I say, think of the vast consciousness, the light within, what will I do? I will imagine some kind of tube light inside. I'm not asking you to imagine a light. Not at all. Not at all. And that's interesting. That it illustrates the difference between yogic meditation and Vedantic meditation. That's why I said, do you follow that yogic meditation is a practice? Take the instructions, do it. Vedantic meditation is not practice, it's knowledge. Learn it, understand it, then dwell on it. That dwelling on it part only is the Vedantic meditation. But if I have not learned it and if I have not understood it, what will I dwell on? What will I dwell on? It will become imagination. That imagination is not bad. When I say I am Swami Sarvapriyananda, if I need to dwell on that fact, I am dwelling on a fact for me, I am not imagining. But if I imagine I am Vishnu, it's an imagination. I can dwell on that imagination, but I am imagining it. It's not something that I know, it's something I may believe or I can imagine. So that's the difference.
So is there like which one is better than the other?
Okay, I'll come back to that. But your question, to answer the question, let's see. Assignment for the rest of the class. Is this consciousness, is it physical?
No.
Is it something like this body? No, it's not physical. Rather, it is that which is aware of the physical. Is it something mental? A thought, imagination, idea? Not even that. Right? Not even that. It is that in which ideas, thoughts, memories shine. You are aware of ideas, thoughts and memories in what? In consciousness. There was a question. So is one better than the other? Not really. It depends on one's attitude. If you are by nature a jnani, you will find you will find Vedantic meditation very nice and easy and natural to practice. If you are by nature a dhyani, you will find it terribly complicated. You see, one of the biggest mistakes in Vedantic meditation is trying to meditate. I'm trying to do something. That's our natural reaction. I'm trying to do something. Vedanta says, in what light are you trying to do that? The trying is not important. Who is that which is aware of the trying? Yeah.
I'm thinking yogic and Vedantic, that not a difference or kind of comparison like that. Yogic is like a metal piece, something metal. You're trying to make it a magnetic one through some electric wire or maybe iron to make it, give it a magnetic property. But Vedantic is something like you already know it has a magnetic property and you need to utilize it.
Not a bad comparison, a fine comparison. In yoga, you're trying to induce something. In Vedanta, you're recognizing what's already there. If you try to induce something, then you're going into yoga. I'm trying to be a light. Swami tells me to be a light. I will try my best to be a light. Your face may become very bright. But no, Swami is not telling you to be a light.
So, am I correct in saying that in Vedantic meditation, it is the big C, the big C?
Yes, that's the light. Yes,
that is the one who is meditating.
No, there's no one meditating. Where the big C alone, you are recognizing the big C. You are recognizing yourself as the big C. That's all. If I tell you that you are Sunil, you will say, yeah, it's a fact. That's all you have to do in Vedantic meditation. Here is the consciousness in which Sunil appears, his life appears, memories appear. The story of my life is appearing there. I am that consciousness. I am not the fellow in the story. That's all.
Swamiji, that means you are recognize yourself.
Yes.
You are the conscious. You are Sat, Chit, and Ananda, like you said.
Yes.
Truth, bliss, and happiness.
Truth, consciousness, and bliss.
And happiness. That means you are in Vedantic yoga, you are recognizing yourself, the
Yes.
big C, consciousness.
Yes.
Okay, but is there here is the dualism? What Ramanuj says that Bhakto and Bhagavan, and Shankaracharya says the Advaitavad.
Yes.
So aham, I am he. But that one is a very hard way to know. But dualism, according to Ramanuj, the Bhakto and Bhagavan, this is much easier. That means...
Alright. Now, this is Advaita, non-dualism. So I am that. We are only trying to recognize ourselves as that. And that's a fact. We're trying to recognize a fact. Now, you see, immediately we say, oh, that's very hard.
Yes.
If you want to make it hard, it's very hard. There's nothing harder than that. But also, it's equally, there's nothing simpler than that. There's nothing simpler than that. Once one recognizes it to a fact which was always there, is there, will always be there. It's right here, right now. All of this we are saying, we are the one, it is that consciousness alone which is saying it's very hard. Shankaracharya, in his commentary, writes, Yaeva tasya nirakarta tasyeva atmasa. Whoever denies this Atma, that I am Satchidananda, it is his own Atma. He is that very Atma. Who else is denying?
Give yourself.
Right now, if you say, but that one is rather hard. Who said it? I. You say, I said it's very hard. I means what? Did the body say it? The body said it, but the mind thought that thought. And in what light? How are you aware of the mind and the body? What is aware of this mind and body now? Who is it that it recognizes? Who is it that thinks inside, I am Meera?
C.
The capital C, yes. How much, do you remember in the meditation I said it takes no effort to be that light?
Yes.
It takes no effort. How much effort does it take to be Meera? Nothing. You are Meera. But if I try to say that now you meditate, that you are Durga in your heart, it will take some effort. You will try to meditate, then you will say, Swamiji, I cannot, my different thoughts are coming, I cannot control my mind. Effort. But if I say to you, be Meera, how much effort? Effortless. That light which we are speaking about, that consciousness, effortless, it's there already. The real thing is to recognize it. Then this practice is just to stay there in that recognition. Anyway, I just leave it for thinking. Think about it. If you make the least bit of difference between yourself and that consciousness, I am repeating the Upanishad. Whoever sees the least bit of difference between oneself and that consciousness, you make it terribly hard, impossibly hard then. You said, I have to become an infinite consciousness. I have to be everywhere. You cannot be everywhere. If you recognize yourself as that consciousness, you know what will happen? Everywhere becomes in you. If you are somebody in space, and I'm trying to be everywhere in space, you cannot be. You'll be localized in space. But if you are the consciousness which is aware of space, then space is in you.
So I have a last comment. What I have found myself is that in the Vedantic way of meditation, try to burn all my thoughts and to fill myself as a pure consciousness.
Again, no. Again, no. If you try to burn thoughts, it's like I'm trying to stop the thinking. That's yoga. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Stopping thoughts. Cessation of the mind. That's yoga. Patanjali yoga. What is Vedantic meditation? The wave recognizing itself as water. Once the wave recognizes itself as water, does it have to stop the wave? No. The wave can go on. Once you recognize yourself as the sky, do you have to stop the clouds? No. Clouds can come and go. If there are clouds, well and good, they are in you, the sky. If there are no clouds, then you are a cloudless sky. But always you are a sky. You are the sky. So trying to fill yourself with no thought, I am pure consciousness, that's also yogic practice. Do you see that? It's important to see that. If you see any one of these things, you've got it.
Swamiji, then is it right to say that Vedantic meditation, it's not really meditation, it's awareness?
Absolutely. That's what I'm trying to say again and again. Yes.
Because you don't have to, the conventional idea of meditation is you sit down, you
stop
everything.
No.
You could be driving.
You could be
in Vedantic.
Absolutely. Vedantic meditation. Being water. Is there any contradiction between being water and being a wave? Water without waves. Water as waves is still water. Yes.
So how this is different from mindfulness meditation?
It is different. In mindfulness meditation, you are aware of the arisings and disappearances. I am aware of breathing in, breathing out. I am keeping my mind there. Right? I am aware of the sensations in the body. I am aware of the thoughts coming and going. This is mindfulness meditation. But what is